That's three things you can do to make the Toyota Tacoma faster or quicker. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to Robmotive. You know, I'm out cruising around today. Obviously, I'm in the truck, not standing in my garage, because I love driving the Tacoma, and I love driving it more now because it is quicker, it is faster. Now, does that mean I've increased horsepower? Yeah, I actually have. Now, I'm going to talk about those three things because I think all of them combined together make the Toyota Tacoma a much funner truck to drive. Number one is the pedal commander. You know, I've talked about the pedal commander on here before. It's an awesome device. What it is a throttle lag eliminator. Now, this is where the quicker part comes in. It doesn't add any horsepower to your truck per se. It just gets rid of that throttle lag so that when you nail the pedal, it actually goes when you want it to go. I think it's an awesome device, and every Toyota Tacoma needs to have one. It's a shame that Toyota limits the Tacoma by selling it with throttle lag. And I know they probably do it for fuel economy or government regulations, or who knows how they rationalize it. But it's a drag, and it should not come this way or that way. The pedal commander is awesome. By the way, there is a link down below. If you click that, go to the site, you can save a little bit of money, and it is well worth it. Number two, and these are things that I don't think necessarily do anything that you can feel until you put them together. Number two is the exhaust. You can probably hear it in the background. It is the Flowmaster dual exhaust on the Toyota Tacoma. Now, this kind of serves two different purposes. Number one, it has the placebo effect. In other words, you can hear that throaty sound in the background. When you nail the pedal, it just gives you that feeling that you're going quicker, right? And if you feel like you're going quicker, is that really different than actually going quicker? I don't know, but it makes a heck of a difference. Just having that nice sound in the background just adds to the quickness experience, if you will. But beyond that is the horsepower gain. You know, all of these aftermarket parts suppliers claim that there's a horsepower gain, and it's typically somewhere between 5 and I think I've heard as high as 30-ish, maybe 40, something like that. But let's be honest, if you're just taking that alone, you're really not gonna feel 5, 10, maybe even 20 horsepower unless you put it on a dyno. So unless you spend your driving life sitting on a machine looking at those graphs, it's not really gonna make any difference. But it is there, and it is something to be aware of if you're going to combine it with other things. So let's take that and let's pick somewhere in the middle. Let's say it increases horsepower by maybe 15, something like that. Now, when you pair it up with a cold air intake, and I have the S&B cold air intake on my truck. I put the S&B on, honestly, because I love the looks of it. I like that plexiglass big top where I can see that fancy filter. I'm using the red unoiled filter. It is a cleanable one, but frankly, I would rather just replace than clean, primarily out of laziness, I guess. I just don't want to screw around with cleaning filters. Plus, I do believe that over time, those little pores in there are going to get clogged, and I don't care what you do, you're probably not going to be able to clean them out to get them back the way that they were when you first bought it. But anyway, I bought it initially just for the aesthetics, for the look of it, because I love the way it looks. As far as sound goes, I suppose there's probably the minutest increase in sound if you really pay attention when you're getting on the throttle. Honestly, I've never noticed some big gain like I have with the air raid cold air intake that I have on my Jeeps. That, in my opinion, and that particular model is the best one out there for sound. Unfortunately, the ones that I have in the Jeeps don't fit the Tacoma, so I couldn't put them in. Otherwise, I'd be running the air raid in here for sound. Now, performance-wise, they do claim a horsepower increase as well. I don't remember the exact number. It's somewhere between, I think, 10 and 30, 20, something like that. You can look it up if you want. But it does provide an increase. Now, of course, that is on a dyno. And I love how some of these suppliers, they'll include a graph of their actual dyno testing, which is cool. I mean, it's a full disclosure kind of thing, right? They're actually showing you what their product does. But again, anywhere from 10 to 20 horsepower, you're not going to feel that by itself in the seat. It's there, but you're not going to know it. However, when you combine that with other things like the exhaust, you are going to start to get into a noticeable horsepower increase. And I've done that in my Tacoma. I've got the exhaust, and let's just, again, pick a middle of the road number. Let's say 15, I don't know. And let's go with 15 for the S&B cold air intake. So we're looking at about 30 horsepower increase. And we're starting to get into the range where you can feel that a little bit. Maybe not so much and that you're going to be going 150 mile an hour, but who drives 150 mile an hour anyway? I want to feel it when I'm taking off from the line. And that's why I think all of these things paired together, along with the pedal commander, give you a truly fun experience when driving the Toyota Tacoma. Now, one thing I want to address, I know there are always some folks out there that say, well, it's a truck, it's supposed to be slow. I call BS. Why does my truck have to be slow simply because it's a truck? It doesn't have to be slow. It can be fun to drive. It can be quick, it can be fast, and it can be enjoyable. And I think when you put all these things together, pedal commander, the S&B cold air intake, and the Flowmaster dual exhaust, you get all of that. It's the perfect mating of everything to be able to have a truck that's fun to drive. Anyway, I just wanted to get on here, kind of talk about those things. You know, you can have a fast, quick, fun to drive Toyota Tacoma, and those are the ways to do it. Check out the links. There's links below for everything, I think, as long as I can find them. And if I was starting off, it would be with the pedal commander, because that is where you're going to notice the biggest oomph for your buck. Leave a comment. Let me know. If you've got the pedal commander, maybe in conjunction with these other things, what do you think? I'd be curious. Also, real quick, I do have 2 additional channels. Robmotive JT, all about the Jeep Gladiator, and Robmotive Rides, all about my mods and things to the Mercedes C300. Check them out, and if you're interested, please consider subscribing. And while you're at it, consider subscribing to this channel. Thanks for watching. Stay quick out there. Bye.